Welcome to the Fight with Depression podcast, the podcast for people who want to improve their mental health. My name is Christopher Boussard, and if you have been following and listening recently, you would know that I typically have my wife Molly on the podcast with me, and unfortunately, she is not. She's not joining us today, and I'm going to do this one solo again. See if I can remember how to do this, how to speak to myself today. Typically, I've been, Molly and I kind of bring things up that, have been on our minds and everything lately. But, like I said, she's not with me today and kind of had something that I don't know, I was debating. I actually wasn't going to do this podcast. And then it kind of kept weighing on me, and I thought, well, I just need to do it. I need to not make excuses. This is what happens. And so like I said, typically I have Molly on, and we've just been trying to be real with you all and be honest and open, because I think, that's important, right? We are honest. We need to be honest about our own mental health and about things that are going on, because, a lot of times we try and put on a happy face, right? Or pretend like everything's okay. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be speaking honestly with you all. But there is a topic, so don't worry about that. Anyway, so if you've been listening for a while, we like to listen to It's a Good Life podcast with Brian Buffini. And Molly was listening to one the other day, and, she typically listens to it as she's getting ready for work or whatever it is. And I overhear, and then she says, oh, just check out this episode. And sometimes I've heard them already, and sometimes I haven't, so I'll listen. But anyway, so I just kind of overheard her listening to one, and Brian Buffini was speaking about, reaping what we sow, and he's big in the real estate business, and he helps out entrepreneurs and helps people in the real estate industry to kind of help improve their sales and, a bunch of other things. He just tries to really help people financially, essentially. And he's speaking about reaping what you sow. And, the work that you put in is what you're going to get out of it. And it really got me kind of thinking about that topic, right? And Brian Buffini talks about he gives a lot of quotes from different people, which I love, from all different, phases of life and, everything like that. So, anyway, I just think it's beneficial, but that idea of reaping what we sow is not anything new, right? And so, of course, I'm going to have to go back to my own quotes here. So, you look at the book of Proverbs, and, Proverbs 11:18 says, a wicked person earns deceptive wages, but the one who sows righteousness reaps a sure reward. Well, okay, so that's a spiritual type of reaping and sowing, right? But he also, they'll translate that to financial and life, just life in general, right? And, 2 Corinthians 9:6 says, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. And you can say, duh, the more work you put into something, the more work you get out of it. Or, if you don't do anything, then you don't get anything out of it. And I think, back when you had to earn your own way, so to speak, it was probably a lot more prevalent than it is now. And we talk about the the whole 80-20 rule, right? Where 80% of the people do 20% of the work and 20% of the people do 80% of the work. So we let people kind of, get away with, quote unquote, get away with doing 20% of the work, but they still earn the same wages, so to speak. And I think a lot of the times we can just kind of let it go. And I think that's one thing that gets us down, that, quote unquote, bums us out, is seeing other people reaping what we are sowing, right? So why is this person able to reap what I'm sowing? And I feel like this causes a lot of anxiety with our jobs, with our work, with our lives. We start seeing other people benefiting when we're struggling, when we're pushing behind, or, we're working two, 3, 4 jobs, whatever it is, and other people are benefiting. We see this a lot in corporations, right? Where people take advantage of the consumer, of us, or people who have to pay into this or that, or people who have to do this, and we're kind of taken advantage of. But for me, like I said, this has been causing a lot of anxiety for me, and this is one reason that I've really started doing what I'm doing, why I'm doing the podcast, the YouTube videos, the website, because this is what I'm doing, is I'm trying to encourage people, to give people things that, this is how I can improve my well-being. This is how I can improve my mental health. This is how I can, learn a new skill or this and that. And, whether it's, making the knives and, making a coat rack, or, these things, these YouTube videos that I've put up lately. And that brings me into kind of what I'm wanted to talk about today, because a lot of those things that we start to dwell on those, right? Those negatives, we're going, well, I'm not reaping anything. I'm sowing so much. I'm doing this and that, but I'm not getting anything out of it. And for me, this has been a large anxiety, like I said, lately. I don't know why I keep saying this. If you've been following this for, recently, but if you've been listening to what I've been, the podcasts, or following the website or anything, I did have to medically retire. I was in the fire service for 20 years and had to medically retire, and I'm still going through a bunch of, I'm doing the physical therapy and all that. And I'm sitting here and I'm trying to build up this this business, this whatever, helping people. And I'm looking at it and I'm starting to go, well, I'm not reaping anything for it, right? I don't get paid for doing these podcasts. I don't get paid for the YouTube videos or the posts that I put out on the website. I'm not reaping anything, so to speak, for this. And it's been causing a lot of anxiety for me, a lot of stress, right? So even just daily, I'll get up and I'm starting to do, put things together for the next project. I have a planned knife building day coming up here this weekend. And so I'm getting stuff together for that, and I'm sitting here going, well, okay, but what am I going to reap from this, so to speak? And it's not, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like, oh, I want to get something out of this. What I'm saying is I'm doing these things because I think that this is the right thing to do, right? I'm teaching people a new skill. Like I said, it's helping people with work with their hands, and I thoroughly believe that these are some of the things that will improve our mental health, that improve my mental health, and it works for others because I know that because I hear it. I hear it from people directly out of their mouths that, man, this really helped me when, Revital Colorado, when they do their events, and the things that people do with their hands and with their minds, and it's beneficial because I'm not going to get into the physiology of it, or the neurology, all that stuff, all the ologies, but there's a lot of research. And so anyway, so I'm doing these things and I'm going, okay, well, this is what I think is important, but I'm starting to go, well, I'm not earning an income from doing this, So right now it's like I said, I'm getting up and I'm doing these things, but I'm looking at, well, how does this benefit in the future? What will this look like for me in the future? Because right now my future is uncertain to me, right? Where's my income going to come from? Molly's working, of course, and I'm trying to help her, as best as I can, and I'm sitting here and I'm going, well, where do I start to reap what I'm sowing? And it really got me thinking that I think I've been looking at this the wrong way, because I think and I wrote this down because it hit me, and I had to put it in my book. I said, if we reap what we sow, we shouldn't be worried about our harvest. We should be more concerned about the seeds we sow. So if I'm going and if I'm scattering seeds for the right reason, if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm working hard to benefit other people, if I'm working hard for one thing or another, there will be a harvest. Whether I get that financially, or maybe my own mental health is able to improve to a point where I'm more productive, or whatever it is, but it may not be the way that I want to see it, or the way that I hope it's going to turn out. But if we're doing the right thing, if you're that 20% of people who's putting in the work, and the other 80% of the people are reaping the benefits for you, for them. So don't give up. Don't get tired of doing the work. Don't get tired of doing the right thing, because we look at the end result and we think that that's where we should be. And instead of what am I sowing? What am I doing right now? So instead of going, well, okay, well, I'm doing the right thing, and that's what I need to focus on, is continuing to do the right thing. Instead of going, okay, I'm going to get up and I need to get these things together because I'm doing a knife building project, and these are the steps that I need to do for that. I tend to look at it and go, well, how am I going to improve my views on YouTube, or my listeners on the podcast, or my views on my website, and then if I do increase those, how am I going to be able to bring in an income from that? How is that going to look? Now my focus by doing that is not on the right thing. It's not on improving other people's mental health like I've been trying to do, improving my own mental health. Now I'm looking at, what is the result? What harvest am I going to reap? Instead of going, I'm going to just keep doing the right thing and trust that by doing the right thing, I will reap the benefits. I will reap the harvest of what I'm sowing. So anyway, just that's been weighing on my mind. It's just been causing a lot of anxiety. Like I said, every day I'm getting up and I'm kind of wondering what my future is going to look like. How are things going to look? Am I going to be able to have enough people who want to build cutting board or a picture frame, or maybe people who want to buy my photographs in the future, or maybe somebody wants to buy a cutting board that these things. That's not what I need to be focused on. Those things will come if I continue to do the right thing. So I don't know how this is going to translate in your life. Whether going to work and you're looking at, well, where am I going to go? I've done that, where you're looking at that next promotion, and you're going, well, man, when is that promotion going to come? Go in to work and continue to work hard and do the best that you can. Do your job and do it well. And if you do those things, those promotions will come. Those benefits will come. So however you need to translate this into your own life, I really hope that it helps, just to maybe give you a different perspective, instead of trying to look at the end result and shaping the way that you live your day-to-day life, trying for that end result. And just look at your day-to-day life and say, is this the right thing to do? Are these steps, is this thing that I'm doing, is the work that I'm putting in, is that the right thing to do? Because if it is, then that goal you'll reach your goals. Anyway, I really hope that helps. And it's helped me over the last couple days kind of change that perspective. So anyway, if you want to reach out to me at all, go to thefightwithdepression.com, go to the contact page. And once again, it's thefightwithdepression.com. Go to the contact page. If there's anything you want to hear, as always, just reach out to me. Let me know what you want to hear. If you want to see something, whatever it is. Or just, if you want to say, hey, keep up the good work, or hey, I don't like what you're saying. Whatever it is, let me know. And once again, just, thefightwithdepression.com. Go to the contact page and let me know. And until next time, God bless.